Hey guys, it's Flame or Flamish, and this is how I made my Icarus Morningstar cosplay. I've always loved Fable and specifically Icarus since season 1, but I never really got around to cosplaying them until now this year at my local Renaissance fair. I knew I wanted the cosplay to be detailed. I had a ton of different ideas of what it could be, but it ended up becoming so much bigger of a project than I had originally planned when I started this, just because I couldn't stop myself from adding more and more details to it. I knew I wanted to cosplay late season 3 Icarus purely because I wanted to do all of their scars, and one of the main character design details that late season 3 Icarus has is the giant whack portal on their chest, so I had to make it. Sewing the shirt was quick, but painting it took a lot longer. I started by painting a white coat on it where the whack portal would be, and then adding the rest of the colors on top of it. I used fabric paint and puffy fabric paint for this, though I wouldn't necessarily recommend using puffy fabric paint. It didn't work out the best for me, but you know, you live and you learn. And I made the squares with the intent of no color being directly next to it, with very neon-ish bright colors to give it that wacky feel that we see in Fable. Then I moved on to the jacket. The jacket wasn't actually originally in the plan, it was just gonna be the whack shirt, and then things got really out of hand really quickly because I love Icarus Morningstar and I needed to be the little guy. You know? Look at this trench coat. Like, it's gonna be so good when I make it in a trench coat. So I don't really care, but that's what I mean. This needs to be bleached before I can dye this. So, little did we know that the bleach was not going to work out. The fabric sat in the bleach bath for well over an hour, maybe even an hour and a half, and it didn't fade at all. The color did not change at all. We assume it's because of some treatment that the fabric had, but it was not changing colors, so we just went straight for dyeing it. Luckily, the dye worked. The colors didn't get quite as vibrant as I was hoping for, because I was hoping for it to be a little bit more accurate to the skin with that very royal purple and the very vibrant yellow, but the colors ended up turning out closer to Sherbert's actual jacket when they cosplay Icarus, so I'm pretty happy with it. To sew the jacket back together after it had been dyed, I first sewed the layers of each side together and then connected them and sewed that together to make the full trench coat again. For the sleeves, I cut the elastic out of them and then sewed them back together. I hand sewed all of the jacket's ribbon onto it, that being both the cuffs and the trimming, and then we got to the fun part, which was embroidery. So I taught myself how to embroider for this. There's a lot of different embroidery around the cosplay, embroidery on either cuff, the back of the neck, and then either pocket also has embroidery. The embroidery on either cuff represents their family in different ways. The embroidery on the yellow sleeve is flowers representing each of them. Centros has a moon daisy, Haley has an oxide daisy, Athena has an allium, and Ray has an orchid. And then the embroidery on the purple cuff is symbols for each of them. Centros has his glowberries, Haley has her bandage, Athena has a cake, and Ray has an ender eye. The back of the neck has Icarus embroidered on it in Quixian. The white pocket has some of Icarus's flock plus Thomas, and the black pocket has potion bottles embroidered on it. Overall, the embroidery of just the flock took me over 15 hours, and I'm sure the embroidery of the whole project was well over 20, but it was very worth it for me because I'm really proud of it. I would recommend, though, using an embroidery hoop if you were planning on embroidering, because I didn't for this project, and that was not the best move on my part. When I finished Icarus's jacket, I decided that I really needed to make the wings, so I ordered this wings base off of Amazon. It took a few weeks to arrive, so in the meantime, I made Icarus's bird ear wings. I made them using a cardboard, relatively ear-ish shape, painting it yellow, gluing little feathers to it, and then gluing a hair tie elastic to the back of it, which I would loop over my ear when I was going to wear it. When the wings got here, I pretty much immediately painted them. The paint bled through the fabric a lot and ended up sticking them to my table, which I had to peel off, almost like peeling off a sticker or something. It was a little bit of a time, but luckily because of it bleeding through, I was able to like only have to paint each side once. I wore this painted version to fair once, which I'll put a photo of it here, and then we got to gluing the feathers onto the wings. Gluing the feathers to the wings was a process that took about 4 or so days. I used hot glue to glue the feathers to the wings and was very careful about it because I didn't want to weigh it down too much and mess up the mechanics of the wings. To glue the large feathers, I took the stem and would place glue on one side and then bridge it over. And to glue the little feathers, I would just place a dab of glue on the top of the feather and place the feather directly where it needed to go, holding it down for a few seconds to make sure it was stable there. I used 600 of the big feathers, 300 purple, 300 yellow approximately, so 3 of each of these sets, and then I'd say 1 of this set and 1 of this set for the little yellow and little purple feathers, and that was enough for me. I made a lot of different props / accessories for Icarus. Some of these were their canon necklaces. For the potion ball necklace that they wear, I took a little potion ball I got from Michael's, filled it with purple and yellow beads, purple and yellow glitter, and then glued the lid on, and I would just put this onto a necklace chain when I was wearing it for the cosplay. For the other necklace, their feather necklace, I made the feathers out of clay because the necklace seems to be of their crystallized feathers, and then attached them with eye rings to a chain that I can wear like this. Another accessory I made for the cosplay were these potion bottle earrings. I also got Thomas printed out as a temporary tattoo. I got the Thomas temporary tattoo printed out using Sticker U because they were the only really website I could find that would let you print out a temporary tattoo in color. They also just had it like for relatively cheap and stuff, which was great. And I have a ton of them, so I can keep cosplaying Icarus over and over and over again with Thomas tattoo. I got it printed out at 3 by 3 inches, and a fun fact about that is that I put it on the wrong arm the first time I cosplayed Icarus, and I was very upset about it when I realized 2 weeks later. One of the props I got for the cosplay was the Icarus Whack book, which you can see right there. I actually already had this and already had all of Season 1 and most of Season 2's Whack written down in it, but I copied the rest of Season 2 and Season 3's Whack for the cosplay. That way I could take cool photos of it. The other prop I made for this was honestly kind of impulsive, but I'm really, really proud of it, is the double-sided trident. About a week before Renaissance Fair, I found 2 different tridents at a closing Party City and decided that I needed to make the double-sided trident. So I disassembled it, painted both of the sides, used a white base coat, and then painted the colors, sealed it, and connected it. Then I wrapped the trident in purple and yellow leather, which I got from Wolf Den Emporium, one of the shops at my local Renaissance Fair. Those were all of the big accessories I made for my Icarus cosplay, but I also got a lot of my accessories from Fair. The book belt I wear and the purple potion arm guard are both from Davinci Scientifica Steampunk Emporium, one of my favorite shops at my Renaissance Fair, but they don't sell online. I got my talons, one of my favorite details about my cosplay, which are also super sharp, and birb from Red Falcon, one of the other shops at my fair, which I will link in the description, along with any of the other information I have about the shops that I got things from. The purple belt and the leather on my trident were both from Wolf Den Emporium, and the purple arm bracers I wear are from Traveling Leather. Hey, it is the morning of the Icarus cosplay. I just put Thomas on my arm, and we're speed running. Okay, so I'm in Icarus' base fit. I'm holding a million things in my arms, because now I have to drive to fair. But I'm excited. I did a better lightning scar than I did the other day, so this time you can see it under the jacket. Did their lightning. They have their prison scar, but it's kind of hidden under my hair, but it is there. I'll show it later better. And Thomas is on their arm, and I'm so excited. Yippee! Fable and the Sherbverse and Icarus have all been such a big part of my life for the past several years. I've been in this fandom for over 3 years now and have been actively posting stuff for well over a year now, and it was really cool to get to commemorate all of that into a big project like this. It made me really, really happy, and I can't wait to do more stuff like that. Happy 1 year anniversary to the Fable finale. Emporium? Nope, that's not the name of the shop. But I got the temporary tattoo print words to make Icarus's wings. So I ordered this base off of Amazon. Things are being shredded downstairs. Lovely. When I finished the wings, I decided I need to make the wings. Stuck to the... And then we got to painting the feathers. Painting the feathers. Gluing the feathers. Lovely. Is that how the wings work? I made these wings. I should remember this. Wait, which color is on top? Which color is which color is the top of the wings? What color is the top of the... I thought it was purple. Is it purple? It is purple. I know what I'm talking about. It's fine. I don't think I said purple.